if you look at Scripbox, and you have run it for well over a decade since founding it, what for you changed in terms of looking at investor behavior specifically for India, from where you started and what you see today?
So I think there is a lot more awareness, right? I think the last 12 years have seen a dramatic change in access to information because of the internet.
Yeah.
Also, I think capital market investing, the mutual fund Sahi Hai campaign has brought visibility to a very, very important vehicle of investing to a very, very large number of people.
Right.
And that has been very, very helpful. The second trend that took off post-COVID was in trading, stock trading. And that has also been, that also popularized capital markets dramatically.
Right.
So I would say that India today is very different from the India that we started Scripbox for.
Yeah.
Right.
So if in that light, when you look at more access to information, more pervasive information as well, especially in investing, it's a lot about trust, I would think.
Yeah.
You need to be a trustworthy person, you need to be a trustworthy organization to be able to advise. In that regard, where do you see AI-led advice play out? Do you see the relevance, or do you see what specifically can it add as value over and above the investment advice you already would have done as Scripbox?
So, before you get into this, I'm going to just talk a little bit about, and you talked about not institutional but household.
Correct.
Right? Correct. So, I just want to present a framing that I use a lot, which is about that there are, from individual perspective, these things are very mixed up.
Yeah.
But from a professional's perspective, there are actually three layers of financial advice.
Right.
So almost in a tech stack basis, there is a lower stack close to the machine, and there is a application stack close to the user.
Yeah, right. That's a very engineer's way of
looking at it.
Yeah.
So I think there is investment management,
right,
which is what fund managers, PMS providers do, which is to pick specific stocks, take calls on long-term trends, etc., which is one stack.
Right.
Above that is the investment advisory, which is where you take asset allocation calls or product selection calls, etc., right? Which is what most financial advisors are really doing, right? And the third, the topmost there, is the personal finance layer,
correct,
which is about how do individuals use finance to achieve their life goals.
Yeah.
Right. And conversations about life goals, what is appropriate, doing the trade-offs between short-term and long-term,
right,
knowing what is it that you can do
right,
and what is it that you can't do.
Right.
That's a personal finance conversation that leads to an investment advisory conversation, and that finally leads to investment management. In most people's minds, they are all mixed up, right? And because India has been a manufacturer product-led market for a very long time, a lot of the conversation actually happens at the investment management layer.
Okay.
Right. So how do you pick the right stock? Right. So there's a lot of stuff available on how you can use AI to beat the market and, pick multi-bagger stocks and, or to do trading strategies and FNO.
Correct.
So that's the layer which I actually believe is an institutional layer.
Okay.
Because institutions are best placed to operate in that.
Right.
They have access to resources. And yes, with technology, individuals are now empowered. But individuals don't have the institutional memory of mistakes or biases, etc., which makes institutions a stronger player in that space. Whereas for most individuals and households, the other two layers are important. Right. So mostly I'm going to talk about, and that's where Scripbox operates, is these two layers.
Right. The individual layer.
Individual and household. How do we?
Yeah, and the household. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah, which is a very good description, I feel, in terms of structure of the market and where you operate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you were to look at a tool like AI to help the two segments that you talked about, where do you think, because most of the platforms, including Scripbox platform, would be a combination of user and platform interaction. And sometimes the advice could work with a tool like AI, sometimes it could break. So how would you perceive the pros and the cons of using such a tool?
Yeah. So I think with the current state of AI, which is essentially large language models,
Correct.
with still evolving inference capability,
Right.
I think creating awareness and having access to knowledge and what I would say personalized knowledge at scale is something that is that can be very useful.
Right.
So I don't understand what asset allocation is. Can somebody explain it to me? And can I keep asking questions to understand that better in my way? Right? Now, there are behavioral biases. Nobody wants to look foolish. People think this is a very simple question. I should know it. I don't feel like asking.
Right.
But with the machine, that shyness or that resistance goes away.
Right.
And I think AI can really significantly help increase the knowledge of individuals about things that really matter to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
A great deal.
Yeah.
Right? And you can do this at scale
Right.
in a pull mode.
Correct.
See, a lot of financial education, and I'd hate that word because education is one way, right?
True.
We like to use the word skill development.
Yeah.
Right? We think money is a skill that can be learned, and and that is best done in my context and my context of both where I am and what is important to me.
Yeah. And that progressively
And
changes.
that progressively changes over time, over a lifetime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think doing this at scale, specifically the scale of India,
Right.
I think this is where the current LLM models can do a lot.
Right.
I think as they evolve, the second layer, which is what I would call a portfolio construction, asset allocation layer, also I think it can add a lot of value.
Right.
What we still believe is that what is relevant for advice at scale, and that's the problem that we are trying to solve, is expert systems and not necessarily AI.
And how would you define one versus the other?
So I think there's a technical difference for this, but how I define it is distilling the knowledge of experts
Right.
along with guardrails. So you do not want to, like, I think doctors have this thing saying do no harm. I think in financial advisory as well, do no harm should be a fundamental way to look at this.
Right.
And because today we do not have that control over AI, I think having an expert system which may use AI as a component
Right.
in its design as a part of the system is the right way to approach that.
Okay. Yeah, even I have noticed, and I've used these tools time and again, besides, of course, podcast, even for sometimes research as it relates to financial investing. And what surprises me is many times information gathering, fantastic job, but decision making or help in the decision making, you don't know when the model is hallucinating or giving you wrong answers. And if you don't know, you would just go with the recommendation. So are you saying some of the guardrails would limit those scenarios and try to make the advice very, very precise that people can trust?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
For example, I think it's not just the hallucination, it's also the training data.
It's true.
So it is believed that a lot of training has happened on Reddit data. Right. Take, for example, crypto.
Right.
Is a very big discussion among the tech folks who are also the large contributors on Reddit.
Right.
That has influenced, so you would find if you ask an LLM for advice on which assets to invest in, you will find crypto coming in very often.
Yeah.
Right. We, for example, as advisors don't think crypto is a asset grounded in, is actually an asset at all. Right?
It's not backed by any
It's
other.
not backed by any asset.
Yeah.
Right? Anything. Right?
Yeah.
So that, so our guardrails would drive us to say, look, filter that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if you just go ask a generic model, you'll get that advice. So you might get, so as somebody said, LLMs are word machines that that produce what sounds right.
Yeah.
Correct. Whether it is right is important to ensure when you're dealing with people's futures.